All right, so I'm still going to do my How to Catch a Jezebel series as it comes to mind, but I'm shifting over to something. And I've been doing some research since, actually, I've been meditating on this whole thing since about August of last year. From July to about December, I took a vacation. I mean, I would work, go home, sleep, just chill. I was just going through a 10-year, I worked really hard for 10 years and I just took time off, because the previous year I had popped my back out of place, and then like in April or whatever, I popped it back in place, and it's like, oh, I thought it was some kind of physical, but I just popped it out of place. When I popped it back in, I felt better. It was like I went like eight or 9 months back out of place. So July, August, I was working during that 9 months too when I was in pain. So July to December, I was just chilling. I was just on sabbatical. But at the same time, I was researching. I was thinking back over the past, but I also was thinking about the future and thinking about what I needed to do and my future plans and all that. Studying about health. I was doing a lot of research and studying. When you can spend a lot of time researching, you see deeper than most people. And so what I'm getting ready to tell you is going to sound bizarre. It's going to sound off the roof. It's going to sound crazy. Notice the train. It's going to sound fantastical, or whatever the word is, to some people. But I know what I'm telling you is the truth. This might take 10 videos. And the reason this might take 10 videos is because it's so hard to believe that your whole life, your whole construct's been a lie. And you're going to resist it. You're going to fight against it. And I understand. And it might take you 10, 15, 20 years to finally admit it. Because what you're going to start to do is see the data points. Now, you can be mad about it, and once you really digest what really went on in your life, you can be mad about it or you can be glad about it. It might take you might get mad at first. Don't jump off a bridge. Don't get revenge on nobody. Don't get upset. Because this is a revealing down here. We're revealing Jesus, right? To the whole world. The whole world will be filled with the glory of God. So here's what's going on in your life. It's your life, but it's really God directing you. It's His life working through you, right? And so when you're born into this place, it's a death cult. And you don't know that the death cult follows the moon cycles. And if you think about the woman's body, it's a 28-day cycle. And the moon cycles, why do they worship the moon? Why do the witches and the cults and all that have the moon symbol with why do they worship the moon? Because it's a death cult. They worship Mother Earth. They worship Mother Mary. They worship the female. They worship the Queen of Heaven. And so they work in those moon cycles. Not, they throw out every year, this is 2025, this is this. But they worship in the moon cycles. And everything down here is a sacrificial redemptive system. And you can read in the Bible how the high priest in the Bible said, well, we need a sacrifice. And they don't want to sacrifice one of their own because Barabbas was evil. They want to sacrifice a sheep. And they really can't sacrifice a sheep unless they get you to do something that you shouldn't be doing. And then they have if they can get you to do something evil, then in their mind they can sacrifice a sheep, right? I remember listening to family members growing up, and they knew I was a believer, or they knew I was the elect, because I just didn't run with them to their drugging and drinking and the death cult. I just didn't like the death cult. I didn't like the dark side. There's some people who love murder mysteries, scary movies. While I'm driving, let's go over here to this theater and see if there's a scary movie out. Why do they even have scary movies? How is that even a thing? I want you to really think about that. The horror movies, why is that even a thing? The zombie movies, why is that even a thing? Because that's what you're in. It's a horror show. How much gas I got? Yeah, I got enough gas to take a detour. Let's go see if there's a horror movie on. I hate horror movies. I never go to. Why do they go to? Why do they want to get you to go to these bars and these topless bars and get drunk and all? It's a death cult. You're in a death cult, and they run on the moon cycles, and so. Starting about March, a little bit before March, some kind of moon cycle around March, right? Might be the end of February, whatever. They're trying to set up a human sacrifice for September, right? And then they do their Burning Man series in October. So what's happening during that process? And they celebrate death, and you see this in the Doctor Who series where they realize this is a simulation. Now the higher ups know it, but the lower level, they're just having fun, sex, drugs, alcohol, whatever. They're just living. They think that is living it up. When somebody's cheating on you, let's say you marry somebody and they're out there cheating on you, they think they're living it up, but they're not. Let's see if there's a horror show here. It usually is. There's always a horror movie, either on the scene, woman in the yard, something drop. There's always a war movie, horror movie, death. Who would even want to go to a horror show? I don't even understand that. Look, The Chosen. These movies are about your life. What's that one? You get tired of these movies. You've already heard this. They're all just a repeat. There's no new story. There's no new movie. And so when you wake up, you look at these buildings here and you're like, how do they make money? How do they afford the taxes on this property when there's nothing happening over here? This place is not, how do they afford the taxes? So you look at and you go to the mall and you say, well, the mall's died out. How do they make money? Nobody's even in there buying anything. How are they making money? How's this thing running? And I'm getting ready to tell you. Human sacrifice. Getting you to go to the medical system. Getting you to get involved with the medical. The doctors who don't really want to heal you. They just want to keep you in a loop, in a cycle. So I'm getting ready to I'm gonna give you the overview really quick, and it's gonna be hard to believe, but then I'll take and explain it over some more, maybe, Lord willing, if he allows me to talk about this, because it's so hard to believe. It's so fantastically insane. I don't even know the right word to use for that. It's so bizarro land. It's so hard to believe that, and there's people who. And the cults and the isms, the witches, the warlocks, the Jezebels, the narcissists, some of them know what they're doing, and some of them are just pawns, and they don't even know they're pawns. So what happens is, like I say, they follow the moon cycles, and when they target somebody. So let's say there's one cycle that ends and there's a full moon. and then another cycle starts. So they've got to target somebody. And if they can get somebody to do something with them that they shouldn't be doing, could be a relationship, it could be pretty much anything. And remember, all the corporations are in on this. All the banks are in on it. The higher ups have sold their soul to the devil. The Illuminati, the Freemasons, the Jesuits, BlackRock, State Street, Vanguard, they've all sold their soul to the devil. And so Warren Buffett, he wants to buffet you. Warren Buffett, he wants to war in Buffett. Elon Musk is in on it. They're all in on it. You're not in the group, so you don't know. And so it's a sex cult. It's a death cult. It's a human sacrifice cult. In all the movies, I mean, how does that place even survive? How does that survive? You don't make a whole lot on gas, and who making snacks? You know, come on. The taxes are ridiculous. I've run a business. You got to make a profit. You got to make a continual profit to pay all the taxes and all that. You have to sacrifice. The only way these businesses are sacrificing is human sacrifice, getting your insurance, tax, whatever, death. They make money off of death, somebody else's death. Their Social Security or whatever. Why do you think a lot of women want to get married? They see you get older and they want to get married to you because they know that, hey, he's going to die. I'm going to get his Social Security. I've seen it. My whole life, I've watched it. And so this moon, I mean, as you get older, why would the women come out of the woodworks? And when you're younger, why would the women come out of the woodworks and you get married and they're out there cheating and stuff and lying? And you know they're lying and you know they're cheating and you catch them and you call them out on it and then they throw drama because they've been caught, because it's that outward religious show image that they might as well be a streetwalker, but they're a religious streetwalker. So they put out that image, but they're no different than a streetwalker because they're cheating on their husband with every Tom, Dick, and Harry, you know. So my point is, it's a death cult. It's a sex cult. Let's see if anybody's open today. McDonald's is open. I don't really want to go to McDonald's. So you're in a death cult. You're in a sex cult. You're in a broadcasting system. Now I'm getting there now. I'm getting close. I'm getting ready to tell you something that's going to blow your mind. It's so fantastically insane. The God of this world is the devil, right? So the news, the CBS, the NBC, the ABC, notice the BC is the body of Christ, the bride of Christ, Christ's body. ABC, NBC, Fox News. Why is it called Fox? Body of Christ. So it's all about the church. You are the movie if you're saved. And the death cult is the devil's fallen angel archons, cosmocratons that are running this stupid show that's playing out down here. And it's just a repeat every day. Every day's the same. You've seen that before. I don't even have to be in your city, but I know you've got a Walgreens in your city. I don't even have to be in your city, and I know you got a curb and a telephone pole and some phone lines. I don't care if I'm here or where you're at. No matter where you're at, I can function in your city just like I can in this city because it's all the same. I went to visit somebody in Canada one time, and she said, I drove a rental car up there. And she said, well, how do you get around in this city better than me? I was born here and you've never been here before. I said, all cities are the same. I didn't know what I know now about the holographic fractal reality that I'm in. No matter where I can go get a job as apartment maintenance guy anywhere in the whole country because it's all the same. Once you learn how to do a skill that's all over the place, you can get a job anywhere. I can go over there and get a job. I know how to fix those windows, those door locks, those doors, those ACs, the heat in the air, the carpentry, the sheet. I know how to do it all. Why? It's weird how God put me in that without me knowing it. So the devil, the God of this world system, he's like a puppet master, right? And he works through systems. It's a system. And the way the devil works, he works through, I forgot things were closed today, so I'm trying to figure out where I need to go. Maybe I'll go to my default program. So these systems that the devil has in place are death cult systems, and they're all mocking the body of Christ, mocking the believers. But they have to use you. They have to make money off you because you are the life. You're the lifeblood. So these fake religious cult members, so let's say there's a born again man or a born again woman. The devil has a lot of agents. There's very few people really saved down here, truly born again. So they want to, they throw in get married. You got to get married. That's the end all, fulfill all. Find you somebody that y'all can build a life together down here in this death cult, right? I mean, look at that lady. She's so out of her mind. Look at her. She's in the death cult. She's acting like she's look at this. He's got red shoes on. They're in the death cult. They're in the death cult. That's why they act like death. That's why they drink themselves to death. That's why they work all week and then instead of investing their money on something and creating their own little thing, they're wasting their money and their time and their energy. But if they're trying to get you, to pull you into it, they're trying to turn you into a sacrifice. I want you to realize that. If somebody's love bombing you, gaslighting you, a narcissistic Jezebel, Delilah, whatever, is part of the death cult. They want to sacrifice you. A liar is a murderer. 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 You want me to explain that? The devil was a liar from the get-go, and he was a murderer from the get-go. They are just like their daddy, the devil. So this death cult is to see who can sacrifice. That's what I'm saying. Instead of a win-win, it's win-lose to them. They don't understand win-win because they don't want to sacrifice along with you. So if you marry one of them, they want you to sacrifice and spend your money, and they want to put their money away in a somewhere you don't even know about because it's a win-lose to them. They're not really planning on staying with you. They plan on sacrificing you. That's why they cheat and they lie, and they're not really dedicated to you. It's a win-lose situation in their mind. You think it's win-win, but when you wake up to the fact they're abusive and they're treating you like trash. They don't even talk. They interrupt you. They talk over you and all that stuff. They're trying to adapt you. They're trying to train you to accept the death cult that they're putting you in. Now, let's take it a little bit further. The rabbit hole goes deeper. So what you see, all your movies, all your TV, all your music, all your media, suicide sheep, they're telling you they're making money off of killing you. Your food, your water, your air, they're trying to kill you in every which way possible. And so they're trying to make money off of you. And so because the God of this world system is the devil, they enjoy it. One of our main politicians, he was talking to some military people, and he made a comment that Yeah, the CIA and all, they're master deceivers, and the whole congregation laughed and clapped, and they thought it was great. Remember when Bill Gates said, we got to get rid of the problem, which is carbon, and everybody in the audience laughed. They're just telling you to your face that they want to do human sacrifice. And they're trying to depopulate, right? And so this human sacrificial system, this demonic system, I mean, you know it's bad when Jesus, the Holy One, he came down here and they had to kill him. And so the more you rise up spiritually, the more you become a target as a sheep sacrifice, right? And when you say stuff like, hey, I saw the Shekinah glory, I'm in 5D, I see past time space, I can see I'm outside of the 3D, I'm in a 5D mindset, they have to send somebody to test you and see if it's real. And they have to do it within the moon cycles. Because if you walk away from one of the death cult members within that, so there's a full moon and they target you and they try to pull you into some kind of trap, right? And so they think they got you, but they got to work real fast within a moon or one moon cycle or 2 moon cycles or like 3 moon cycles maybe. And if they don't pull you into their trap and you start to see the trap, then they got to work really fast before that moon cycle ends. And if you walk away and escape in that moon cycle and the moon hits and the next cycle comes and they try to bring you back into that trap once you've escaped, they get judgment on them because they didn't do it within that moon cycle. And it's really bizarro land that they worship the moon so much that it's hard to believe. They actually do some kind of rituals and they think they have some kind of power based on the moon. The devil's lied to them about the horoscope and all that. Yeah, there might be certain tendencies, the Tauruses are stubborn, or whatever. There might be certain things that the devil's decoded and passed on to these people because this is a script anyway. It's God's script, but they're using the moon cycle as a script. And so when they try to trap you, it becomes a story. It becomes a movie. It becomes a song. It becomes a musical. It becomes something on the TV, a TV series. So all these games that they're playing out here to steal, kill, and destroy you and to trap you, it actually becomes a movie. So not only do they make money off of your death, but they write a movie about it, a song about it, a script about it, make news about it. I mean, look at all the look how much money the news shows make when some dude loses his mind and goes and shoots all his family member, or Johnny Depp trial. Look how much money they made on the Johnny Depp trial. They're actors. That was all an act. And then Amber Heard goes to Spain or wherever she went and changes her name, And who's supporting her? Elon Musk. Why is he supporting her? Because he's part of it. They're all in on it. They're all in on it, people. And so you think the script's going on in your life, whether it's if you have a job over here, they have to have people planted in a business and they have to have watchers watching, and they're playing these drama games because the drama games, somebody's logging them and they're turning it into a song or a script or movie or whatever because they have nothing else. And they have to do this because it's all about the body of Christ. ABC, A, body of Christ. NBC, N, body of Christ. CBS, Christ's bride, Christ's body. S, the snake. It's all about the body of Christ. They'll make movies. They made a movie some of the top actors, they made a movie on a homeless lady, and she's like one of the best actors. I forget her name. Spanish lady. They make movies off the homeless people. They make movies off the corporations, drama in the corporations. The same drama. Why is it the same drama goes on over here, as over here, as over here, as over here? No matter what business you go in, there's the selfish kind, there's the narcissistic, there's the trying to get in your world, flirt. If they think you got something that they don't have, they try to get in and steal, kill, and destroy. They know you have knowledge, I actually worked at jobs where I put an application in, a manager saw my resume. Oh, you got a college degree, math, engineering. You know you could do a better job in this. Yeah, I know, but I like doing what I like doing. And so then that manager gives it to a lateral employee, and she tries to pull me into her world. And so she was trying to set up a network of people. One guy did this for her. So the queen bee has like these 5 flying monkeys that she's trying to hide from each other. And this one queen bee, her previous boyfriend, all of a sudden he's dead. How did he die? How did she kill him? Her previous address was 1414, and I thought, red flag. This is a death cult. So anytime you have a Jezebel trying to pull you in who has the queen bee worship me spirit, is probably a death cult, and you're probably better off to run as fast as you can and don't look back. This place is open. That's hard to believe. Let's see if it's really open. Looks to be open. And so the drama that you see playing out in your everyday life is a drama that is actually being recorded, thrown into movies, and they're making money off of your pain and off your misery and off if you can overcome, if you can see through the game, because it's such a convoluted thing. It's hard to believe anybody could even see it. So most people are controlled by the devil, right? He can take them captive at will. So everybody needs a job. So they know that people need money, so they pull them in with the money. And they know people have the desire to be loved and all that. So they play these little games. The devil takes the NPCs captive, and they don't even know what they do. That's why Jesus said they don't know what they do. So when you get born again and you wake up, you break the system, right? And they don't know that you're that strong. And so the priest class, the magician priest class, if they really believed that the born again really had power. Thank you. It's too cold in here. I'm gonna go sit in the car and eat this. This is so important. So the magician priest class, they do all these dark magic and stuff like that, and they get their power from the dark side, right? Which they really don't have any power, but the devil just takes control of people, right? Just like every time I go in there, that girl in there, she's always staring at me like she wants to. I don't know what's going on with her, but she's like mesmerized with me for some reason, and it's like, I don't know what her deal is. But long story short, at another restaurant, that happens at another restaurant. So they just they're controlled by the world, the flesh, and the pride of life. So most people are controlled by the flesh, right? And they don't even know what it is. And so the devil and his system, he's got these high levels. And he's got the witches, and he's got the warlocks, he's got the people doing spells and all that stuff, right? And they're trying to manipulate you to become a trap. They're trying to see if you're really, they don't see it as faith. They see it as, they think to get to heaven, you got to be good, right? So they're seeing if you're a holy person by doing good works. And if it looks like you're doing right and you're doing everything right, then you are targeted as a sacrifice. And so that sacrifice to them is how they get ahead in the system. So they try to sacrifice you to take away your blessings onto them. They don't believe in born again, or they would run to Jesus and get saved. They think you're delusional, but they know you got some power, so they think you're like a high priest or something. And they're thinking, well, wait a minute. If this dude here is some kind of high priest and he's got all this power, then why is he working this job? Why ain't he the CEO of something? Because they don't understand that we just live in peace. We want peace. We're really saved. We're born again. And so when you attack us, you're attacking God's chosen ones. And so they don't really believe that being born again. When you say, I'm born again, saved by faith alone in Jesus alone, they don't believe that. They think it's a joke. And they come in to try to usurp you, and they've got to do it within a moon cycle or whatever, and they see that you just keep standing because they worship the moon. They think that the moon cycle controls you just like it controls, because the women are controlled by, their emotions are like this during the month, right? So the queen bee system is controlled by the moon cycles. That's why they're emotional, and then they're PMS, and it's just like this. And they think the moon is, they worship the moon. They worship drama. They worship the Draco Ma. They worship the drama system. And so when you don't, you're outside of it from an eternal perspective, and you can see that this is all just a big joke. It's cartoon land. But to them, their image, their outward show, just like that lady, you know, she's trying to eye out probably her next meal ticket. And so because they're not saved, they're controlled by the world, the flesh, the pride of life. And we're not, as a saved person, if I was not saved and evil, I could pull her in and mess with her mind in about 2 seconds. But because you're saved, you're not doing that. You're actually sincere and care about people's souls and their health and their mind, their will, their emotions. So you're kind to people. You're trying to show them the truth. You're trying to give them the gospel. But the whole time you're doing that, they think you're naive and stupid, and they think you're playing a game, and they're trying to get over on you and do mind games. They think that you're playing with them like they're playing with you, because they're players. But you're not. And my point is, if they can fool you, destroy you within that moon cycle or that 3 moon cycle or whatever they do, who knows exactly, but I've reversed engineered it to not to the hilt, but enough to tell you this, that they're running on the moon cycle. The reason they worship the moon cycle, because it's 28 days, because the woman cycles 28 days. They worship Mother Earth. And so they think that Mother Earth is everything. And they know there's death and rebirth. And so they are worshiping Mother Earth and the moon. I mean, I want you to understand what I'm trying to tell you. They act like right over there. There's a moon on that window over there, a half moon or whatever. Look at the dirt. It's just clay and dirt. Why would you worship dirt? This came from the earth. They're so ignorant. You either worship God or you worship the creation. And if you worship the creation, your moon cycles, that's what they use as their Bible. Instead of having a Bible that they believe, they worship this moon cycles as their Bible. And they have to work within a certain parameter of time. they believe that certain seasons they get a blessing or whatever. And so they're trying to set you up as a sacrifice or a slave, because the narcissist wants slaves. They want a harem. So they pull you in. They got another one they pull in, another one they pull in. So the queen bee has a bunch of flying monkeys because she wants to be goddess in her little world. That's why the children can't leave the mother. So the mother-in-law, some mother-in-laws run everything. They worship Mother Earth. They worship the female. And then when you don't worship the female and you don't worship Mother Earth, yeah, the woman has her value just like the man has it. But the woman was made for the man, not the man for the woman. But they try to flip creation, where God made Adam and Eve, and then they try to flip that to where the woman is over the man, because you see that in Genesis 3, where Eve tried to usurp Adam and drop him down, and she brought death to the whole creation. And now, that's why they worship the animals and the Mother Earth and the moon. They worship the trees and the bushes and anything that's Mother Earth. They worship the dark side. And the reason that Eve is named Eve, because Eve is the evening, PM, PMS. They worship the female body. For who cares? It's all going back to the grave. They actually worship death. And Jezebel is a death cult. Jezebel's a death cult. They worship the cycles. Why do you think they do when they want to do a love spell, they put the menstrual blood in food and get the man to eat the food with the menstrual blood? Because they believe in spells. And then when he breaks the spell, he didn't know he was under spell, and he sees her lies and her games. They're shocked, thinks he's some kind of high-level priest. Nah. We don't worship the moon cycles. We worship God, and we walk away. If it ain't truth and it's all lies, we walk away, because we know a liar is a murderer, and it's better to get away and have peace. They don't care about peace. They care about the sine wave. The Draconian system is the snake sine wave. They worship the cycle. They actually worship the Draco snake, which can be plotted on a Cartesian coordinate as a cycle. They worship time, the moon, the cycle, the crescent moon. They worship the cycles. They live in the cycles. From one full moon to the next, they plan this and they scheme it and they try to make it happen. And they try to make a slave. And if they can't make a slave, they want to kill you. If they can't kill you, they get the curse. In their mind, they think if they can't trap you and take you out and you escape, that you're some kind of super being. And then they get punished because they didn't accomplish what kind of spell that they had set up. This is really going on. It's so sick, I don't even have words for it. I'm sorry that that's what you're in, but that's what you're in. And if you think about everything I'm saying, this is just like an overarching view. I can go into details, but I put a lot of thought into this thing. And I played the games with them just to see what they're doing. And I noticed they do it within they got to do, if it ain't done in this moon cycle, they go away and they hide and they run. And they're scared because they think you have power. They think you're like a high priest in the cult, but we're just born again, saved saints. If they just would get saved, but they sold their soul to the devil and they're blinded by the devil and they don't believe that you're born again. They think you're full of it, for real.